I'm in the meeting. I'm in the meeting. And Gord's in the meeting. View. Gordon the model. He's gone back to being a model. Ha ha. Right. Chrissy's turned up. Chris. Heidi. Oh, hang on. It's all right. I was waving, but I had the other camera on, so I'm going like this. But oh,
okay.
Hang on. Still got my gloves on. I was been out in the garden.
So have I. Lots and lots of times.
Well, I was in because it was clear sky, so I was pottering in and out all night.
Anything interesting?
Lots of stars. Stars everywhere. Bloody things.
Hello.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning.
Have a nice Easter.
Yes, thank you. Did you?
Wow. Yeah, it was just the same, really. We didn't do anything. Yeah, it's only same as any other day.
Morning, Gordon. Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Hey.
Never mind.
That Gordon, he's crazy. He is.
Is he? Oh.
I said that just to see if he's got his speakers on or not.
Oh, is he there? Oh.
He's connecting.
It's a good test, isn't it?
Stop talking about Gordon. He's got his sound on now.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've never had to switch it on before.
Hey Chris, talking of gardening, I bought one of those Fisker lawn weeders.
Oh yes.
It's got like it's got like 3 prongs on the end. You punch it in and tilt it, and out comes the those dandelions that have got roots 4 foot long.
Yes.
Morning.
Morning.
They're not cheap, but I know it's a bit of a gamble, isn't it? You know, you think, but perfect.
Good.
Anything's better than stooping over, isn't it? Trying to get them out.
Yeah. Over the years, I've just used a big screwdriver and squished it round, but to be quite frank with you, it's not very good. It kind of works, but
I just use a fork, a garden fork.
What, in the lawn?
I haven't got a lawn.
Oh, right.
I have no grass.
Oh.
No, none at all.
I'm all right. I'm all right with dandelions and flowers in the lawn for the bumblebees, but this is taken over.
Gordon, wakey. Talking of dandelions, does Mr. Ben want any? I can bring some tomorrow. Yes. I've got loads of big, fat, juicy, flowered dandelions, and I was going to dig them all up, and I thought, oh no, I'll leave them growing in case.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Chris.
Does he want the flowers or just the leaves?
Just the leaves, really, but you can bring both.
All right then.
We'll dispose.
Who eats the dandelions then?
Mr. Ben.
Gordon.
What?
Gordon. He has dandelion tea every day.
Moving the microphone closer to Anne, you can't see
the tortoise. It's a
tortoise. Oh, the tortoise.
Yeah.
Yes. I was missing it and you couldn't hear me.
That's all right.
Tortoise.
Okay.
He woke up.
Yeah, he's up and about now.
Yeah.
He's regretting it this morning.
Yeah, it's quite cold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit cold this morning.
Our little yellow boxes are coming up for a change.
A little what?
When you speak, it changes to a yellow box around your face, and then when I speak, it changes to a yellow box around my face.
Well, mine's a green box.
Yeah, and mine.
Ah,
I've got
so-
you all up. Can you not get us all on the screen?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
yeah.
At
But
once. Yeah.
what's confusing, if you leave your mics on when Dave's painting, like now,
He's taken it off.
he's
Just
taking
taking
it
it
off.
off now.
Yeah,
The power, it's the power.
yeah, he's learned that one. Well done, Dave.
No, you said last week every time someone else spoke,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I disappeared.
right.
It doesn't now.
No,
No,
you cracked it now. Well done.
Well, I
So,
don't. Rumour
where's
has it.
everybody else then?
Just waiting for
Pauline and Joyce.
The only funny thing is I can't change it back now.
oh no.
Oh,
Oh, there it
I can change it to gallery view. I've got
yeah, I can. Right, I've got you all back now.
is. Yeah.
I've done it.
Well,
Yeah.
you-
To get it,
we've changed places. Have you all changed places as well?
No,
Now you're back.
now you're back where you were.
Yeah, Dave's in control now. Come on.
he looks like the pilot there. You're going to take us off somewhere in a minute.
Land ahoy.
Well, I've got my ear open in case. Oh, here's one. Joyce is in.
Joyce is in.
Found Joyce. Well, it's only just 10:30, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, we're all keen.
yeah, we'll be on time. Oh,
Morning.
Jason got her audio on.
Morning.
Oh,
morning.
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 Oh,
there we
that's
are.
That's it.
the magic of clickability.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, you
Yes.
change clothes for the-
Everybody okay?
Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
Find
Something
the
spooky
picture.
going on again.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it could be Gordon's. No, he denies it's him.
No,
It is Gordon's chair. This
it's my chair.
Doesn't sound like a chair.
It's an office chair.
It's a swivel chair.
Swivel
I
and
can
rock and
swivel.
roll and move.
Sounds really funny.
You need a WD-40, I think.
Oh, what have you been doing? Oh, I thought you were going to show us something then. It was your cup. You went all blurred there, Joyce.
No,
I thought you'd been knitting again and you were going to show us something.
Unfortunately, no knitting, just been painting.
Oh, right. That takes up all my time. I don't know about you.
Carol's got some lovely flowers. Is that Easter flowers, Carol?
Pardon?
You got some beautiful flowers behind you.
Oh, yes. Yes, a friend bought them for me. And I've got some tulips over there. My daughter bought for me. So that was nice.
Lovely.
No chocolate. I just had flowers. So that was good.
Oh, you're lucky. Yeah, I didn't get anything at all.
Oh,
Nor
didn't
did
you?
Diane.
Oh.
Well, I tell a lie. I tell a lie. I had a bird box. A little
Morning,
bird.
Pauline.
A bird box.
A bird
Yeah.
box.
My step grandson made it for us, for me.
Oh,
And
that
it
was nice.
came in with it on Easter Sunday.
Oh,
A tiny bird house. I'll go and get it in a minute. Well, I'll get it.
lovely.
Go and get
I'm going to get it before we start. Hang on.
Yeah.
I got a quote for some garden planters the other day that were on Facebook Marketplace.
Mm.
They were made out of decking, but they're on legs. They're short legs, but they're legs.
Yeah.
I've got 3 2-foot
Oh,
2-foot by, they're about 10 inches high, 10 wide,
Mm-hmm.
3 like that, and 2 4-foot ones, the same width and depth, 350 quid.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that sounded like a good price to me.
Yeah.
Delivered as well, because you go to the bloody Stewart's or something, they charge you 150 quid for one.
That's it.
They
It's
would.
funny you say that. We've dismantled, was we're obviously doing David's garden, all the old fence posts he kept and the posts that were the pergola and everything, they're really big solid posts.
4
And
inch.
he's kept all those and he's going to make planters.
Mm,
They'll
It's
last forever.
really the thing to do.
good idea.
Yeah.
Plant. I've made a big one for out the back a big square one.
Mm.
I don't know what it's at least 3 foot square on legs. The hard bit is
Pretty.
There's the bird box.
the confusing
goodness.
bit
That's nice.
is how
Stop
to line
swinging it
them.
around.
Is it painted?
Yeah, he painted it all.
Down the back.
Oh,
Oh.
What are you expecting to go in there? I thought it was an Easter egg box.
The bird box that he painted for us. But I said to him, we'll varnish it to keep it, and he was really worried that we're going to paint over it.
oh.
What sort of bird to go in that?
No, it won't.
Yeah, I was going to say it'd be a tropical bird.
It's one of these little kits you buy, don't it? It's a big con, really.
Yeah.
You buy a kit and the child makes it.
Oh,
A bird will never live in it, no. Much
No.
too small. But he loved doing it.
Hummingbirds would go there.
Yeah, but he loved it. I loved it as well, so that was fine.
You'll
Oh,
have to get a little artificial bird and stick him on the little thing in the
Yeah. If you've got an Easter chick, I love that.
so we'll take advantage of these to chill in.
The more I look at this picture, the harder it gets. Do you realise that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did realise that. Yes. It's
Yesterday
that
I was quite relaxed yesterday, thinking, what am I going to do for the other 3 hours? You know. Then this morning I sat down and I started sketching it a bit more and tidying it up, and I thought, oh dear.
oh dear.
I blame Carol.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, you did ask for it. After I tried to attempt it and it was awful.
No, it's fine.
Hold tight, I'm moving the screen. That's better.
I don't know what I was thinking about my palette earlier, thinking, well, should I introduce new colors to the palette to associate with the picture? And I thought, no, not really. The thing about this one is it's got cobalt blue sky, or there's cobalt blue up there, isn't there, in that corner with some, but the water is is our favorite turquoise.
Yeah.
The one thing the hard bit, and I mean, there is no right and wrong, and there's a myriad of ways of achieving it, or you'll never get it perfect in watercolor anyway, is all the foamy stuff. I mean, for today, what I've done, I sat here, it's been 8:30, 8:45, and I thought, I'll do it just for now. But I've taken a punt on it and thinking I'll get away with it. But in the past, when I've used a bit of masking fluid where I want the wave bits, I've never liked it. I've never been satisfied with it. But I thought, oh, well, maybe I'm better now. We'll have another go.
Hello, Pauline. Didn't notice Pauline had joined us.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Hello, Pauline.
Hiya.
Good job you weren't
talking about me. Yeah.
Well, only 4 come up on one screen on mine. I don't know about anybody else.
That's all I've got on mine.
Yeah, so Joyce and Pauline are on the next screens.
Well,
That's okay. I'm happy to stay there.
you've only got a
There
little.
you are. You're all on there. Hello. Yeah.
Because I was sharing that screen. Well, It's all going to
I must
change.
say, Pauline, I must say, looking at your screen, it looks as if you've got a door for little people and a door for big people.
No, one of them's an ordinary door, and the other one's a cupboard under the stairs.
Okay.
That's my bedroom.
That's the naughty cupboard, Gordon.
Right, you can just see the stairs up in the.
Yeah.
It's all open plan. It's only I've only got a small place, and it's just open plan downstairs. So
That's where Harry Potter lives.
yeah. I'll let him out later.
I thought it was perspective to start with, but it's not. No. Perspective. Let's look further away. The doors.
Okay, we're about.
Oh.
I've got a new.
Lots of masking fluid.
Did you see it? I've got it's gone all yellow. Funny colour, isn't it? Just trying to.
It's not the one we had first, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought the white ones were yellow so you could see them.
No.
Yeah, I've got another painting.
Long time since I used them.
Yeah, it was really yellow.
It's gone that sort of funny yellow colour. I gave it a good shake, so hopefully it'll come off. But I've just whacked some along the thing. What I did, you probably won't be able to see it with the lines, but I used my thingy. What's a thingy? I got a set square, one of those T-squares, and I just sort of used that against the picture to try and get some angles. So I've got a line going across there, and a line going, and one there. So that I was using the picture. I've got it there. Just using it as a, there's an angle there. So I put that line in. It's unusual, this picture, because I don't usually have the horizon that high up in the sky, but I thought, I'll go with the flow, see what happens, experiment. So that was the thing I did. I tried to find some angles. So, put your bit of pencil on and think, right, I've got that angle there. That's one line. That coast, and just sort of tease some angles on and then built it up, looking at the computer screen later. It's lucky I did, because I looked at the I got OAP eyes now. Because I thought this was like cliffs. It's flipping trees, isn't it? Yeah, foliage. So that was oh gosh, better rub this out quick. As I say, you can have some fun with this area. Thought we might perhaps try and scrape some rock shapes out. At the end of the day, it's art, isn't it? You've got to think. It's not. We're not. I think I said to one of you guys the other day, wasn't it? I think it might have been Chris. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
About if you want to photo. I thought it sounds a bit harsh, really. But then I thought, well, no, it's not. She know what I mean.
I know what you meant.
It wasn't. It's a painting. It's art, not a photo. A photo's a photo, isn't it? Palette wise, I've left it more or less how it was. Usual, yellow. That is blue. It should be blue. I've been very naughty to myself there.
A bit green.
It's got contaminated. I had a bit of fun yesterday. Well, I'd say it wasn't really fun. I've got the big wedding photo commission thing that I've been painting, that I've been working on, and I set myself. I've set a target date. I said, look, this is getting silly, because you keep saying the wedding's so-and-so and moving the wedding date. And I'm thinking, oh, that's great. Got another month to sit and loiter about. But so I said, you can come over and view and collect it on April the 16th. I thought, I'll give myself 2 weeks. So that's not this Friday, the Friday week. Even then, she said she can't make that Friday. Will the Saturday do? Or my mum can come the day before. I'm not thinking, oh, God, this is doomed. But I deliberately, I think it's like everything in life, isn't it? You need to set yourself up. If you've got a deadline, you do it.
Mm.
If the deadline keeps just flowing along, you use the time on a different type subject. Yeah, so look at that. I've cleaned it. I did say last week, didn't I? If anyone says they don't clean their palette, blah blah blah, you don't need to. They're talking garbage. You do. And that was a mistake there. Did you see that first mistake I made? Clean that palette out. Nobody noticed. Nor did I till I've done it. That was
Wrong blue.
yeah, it was ultramarine instead of cobalt. So well, it should be interesting. I was just thinking of the sky. So I'm just getting a few colours ready. And now I'm definitely going to need
The blues match too.
some raw sienna.
Doesn't sort of reflect into the sea.
No.
Raw sienna. Did you read I gave my Easter egg away?
Yeah.
Yes.
What a little angel.
I ate mine.
I'm not saying, you know, I tried. Honest. I took it out of the thing and got a hammer and whacked it all into little bits and put it in the put it in a little bowl and thought, right, it was sat on the side, and I just, as soon as I started, I thought, I'm not going to go with this. Anyway, I've mixed up a few. The one colour we haven't got is ultramarine, isn't it? What's that other colour? Turquoisey colour, yeah. So I'm just going to have a stab at, that's a lovely grey I've got there. I'm a bit loath to get rid of that. It just went all sort of. I know what
you need that for the beach, Anne says.
Well, not the beach, the first layer of water. That's that sort of movie grey.
Yeah. You confused me now.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna. I had a plan. It was light. Actually, it's very light blue, cerulean blue. Or this is a even lighter than that, really. What do you think? A little bit of green in it?
Yep.
I think it was not that green.
The wrong blue to start with, I think.
Well, I think.
I was getting there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Bit of crimson, Dave.
What? You're just trying to muck me up now. I'm not. I'm just going with the flow now. Anyway, first off, I'm going to take a real gamble here today. I live dangerously, as you know. Dangerous Dave. Well, I'm no board. I've not stretched it, but it's quite thick paper. The Two Rivers stuff. So I thought, let's have a laugh then. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I'll try this and see if it works. If it doesn't, there'll be holes in my painting. I was just going to put a bit of masking fluid. Got the masking fluid on the brain. Masking tape across. See if I can get a reasonably straight line horizon. So don't push it down too hard. And work upside down, don't we, on these sort of skies? Or I tend to. So we're going to go with that sort of two different blues there. Plenty of water. I might have to get my hairdryer.
My phone.
Can you get that for me? Cheers, Mav. Cheers, love. Oh dear. Yeah. So what?
Can I ring you back? Because I'm just doing my art.
This is.
I'll ring you later on this afternoon. Yeah. All right. That's okay. All right. Bye.
I was going to say, how much? That's what I look. No way. So anyway, upside down. I don't know about this. This sky. If I was you, I'd go in with some cerulean blue, but it's such a delicate sky. It doesn't. There's not much to do, is there really? I'm just going to put that. Really, I mean, as if we're going to copy their sky. This paper is really absorbent. Besides being 1/2 inch thick. You know, don't you, when you put the water on and then some paint, and it just sort of doesn't do anything. Anyway, I don't know. It's unusual for me. A simple sky is harder than a complex one. Turn it up the other way. Might help me. What do I do? It's looking quite. It looks all right. I mean, all I've done is put some blue on wet paper, but that's the sort of sky it is. I suppose I could add more blue.
Darker blue.
I didn't really want it to go dark, Hannah. I think it.
The clouds, just bring out the clouds, just under the clouds.
Yeah, I've got that on mind. That was that. You know that grey you told me not to wash out. Well, fortunately, there's a little dollop of it in the corner, just in there. So I'm tempted to introduce a bit of it. Mind you, I was going through the reason the grey's there. I was doing this yesterday to the sky on the wedding picture, and to be quite frank with you, it didn't work.
Oh.
No, it didn't feel right. So, and the other thing I was bleating on about a while back was Indian yellow. Don't go there.
No.
No, I won't go out my way to buy that again.
I thought you loved it.
Well, it might be all right for certain areas of painting, but I don't know what they are. I'm putting too much grey on there. I certainly won't use it in the sky again.
No, too much.
Oh my goodness. And it's toxic. But to be quite frank, I couldn't. I'll show you later. I put it in along the horizon, thinking it would add a golden glow to the picture.
Yeah.
And in
Like
the end, yeah, I'm a bit disheartened by it, to be quite frank with you.
Oh dear. It was very. It was very.
While it's nice and wet, we can play with this anyway. Yeah, I think it might be all right if you're in certain landscape. I'm trying to come in from the angles. Certain landscapes, but don't in the sky. It's seriously green. I thought it would be a nice golden yellow, but
I went green.
it certainly did. Well, I had it painted it all along the horizon, thinking with the buildings of Muddyford Kia there, thinking that would add a glow behind it, but in the end it looked a bit more reminiscent of like there was I don't know, a row of hills in the background out in the middle of the ocean. Like, oh. Now I've seen it. That's there forever on that picture. I'm never going to get rid of that.
Okay.
Oh dear, it was going so well.
Oh, it's not the one I showed you. I painted two.
Oh.
Yeah, you did say there was two.
Yeah. The idea was that if I did make a faux pas on one, I covered myself.
Mm.
And being the marketing demon that I am, I thought, well, if her mum comes with her to pick it up, or someone else, oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. I said, well, actually, there's two. There's another one. If anybody wants one, there's similar sort of style.
Yeah.
I'm just dabbing out some of these. I'm loving the delicacy of this sky. To be quite frank, I don't want to, because sorry, I'm just getting my hairdryer. I think if I'm going to go wild on the sky, it's going to be on with the blue, rather, on the water. I think maybe one thing I've learned lately is if you do it lighter, you can always add to it. If you do it dark from the start, watercolor doesn't work. You can't make a dark color lighter in watercolor. Right, let's see where I've got cables going in really awkward places. Very nice. Here we go. Well, here comes the post.
That's enough. Be quiet.
Should we see if we can get that tape off? It's stuck there. Oh, no. That's because it's the masking fluid is tacky, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not ready for the hairdryer though. Fairly jammy. It's great being an artist because you've got power, haven't you? It might be Barbados, but if you wanted to, you could have put a hurricane sky in it, couldn't we?
Oh, yeah, they do have hurricanes, don't they?
Yeah. So thinking about, yeah. Anyway, I've mixed up. I think what I'm going to do is stick with the lighter blue. They always say, when in doubt, use a bigger brush, don't they? Or a piece of card. I only got a small bit. There we go. If you're a bit worried about the horizon, you can always dab a piece of card on it and then go across. Okay. I don't know. It gives you more confidence not to. I don't know what blue's coming on here. That's why I was saying, what blue should we use? More red in it, Dave. More blue. So if it goes wrong, it's your fault.
Yeah, on the computer it's different colours.
Well, yeah. No, it's not too.
Not that one.
Well, it's in stages, isn't it? So I'll stick with my plan. Add a bit of card on. Excuse my hand, and go underneath. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't be afraid. Ooh, sort of. Don't really need to do that. The thing that's annoying me is the masking fluid, because it's sticking to my hand as I go across. It's just a little bit there that's annoying me. Probably have to wash that off. So that's that bit. And there's another dark bit across here, isn't it? I'll make it a bit damp first. And let that. It's a reef in it, I suppose, is it?
Mm.
I think I'll soften that down. Just let that dry off. And that's this little pebbly thing there. I think the bit more on there. It's gone a bit muddy at the horizon, which is annoying me. I've got a piece of spare card here. I just wanted to see what colour that turquoise comes out a bit. Doesn't look very fresh, does it? Looks a bit muted.
It's that sort of colour, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's the. I'm just gonna do a couple of tests on here. It comes out on the screen all right, but not. I think it could be lighter. That's the very pale blue, like a cerulean blue, and this is that really light green. If I blend one on top the other, does that give me something? Not really. Oh well, he who dares, Rodney. I've still got a bit of that left hand, so I'm just gonna wash a little bit more blue into it. I think it's something you're gonna have to be cautious of, which is our first tip of the day, really, is watch out for making the turquoise, that it doesn't go a bit too grey. Sounds like someone's got the end of the drinking straw on a Coke, isn't it?
Oh.
It's quite funny, that. I like it. Bigger brush. Down. Got a flat one, that'll do. So that was a wave there. So I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm going to add some more of that turquoise colour here and then dry it off. That is funny, that noise. It's like you got a little nipper in the corner of the room, and he's got a Coke bottle, and he's going, "I'm going to annoy these adults."
I reckon it's Anne with a banana milkshake and a straw.
Yeah, that's it. You get to the end of the
That'd be a good idea, yeah.
end of the bottle, and away she goes.
No, it's not us. Tony can't hear what they're saying again. We can't see it.
We can't hear it. Just got the other.
I'm not sure if we'll get the banjo out and start playing it. That'll upset them.
Yes. No, it won't. Get the neighbours. No fear.
Upset the dog anyway, the dog's gone.
No, got rid of the dog anyway.
Dog's under my chair now, hiding.
Amazing. I added a little bit of raw sienna to my to my water, and lifted off a bit off the background. Just use the brush dry, and I've got a bit of tape in my hand, so I can. I'm not convinced I've got the right blue in my palette to do this. Amazing. It's such a distinct blue. I think if you've got cerulean blue, you'll do better than I am. But I'm not fussed. Am I bothered? Nah. What I find amazing about this watercolour malarkey is how quick my paint's dry in the palette. I find it. I'm just spraying around where I get some, and I'm gonna go beach, which is just a bit of. You know me, I like the flesh. Sounds bad. No, this is. Oh no, titter. No, where we go. So, ooh, just knock my water bottle over. I think I'm in the doghouse at the moment anyway.
Okay.
What have you done?
I don't know really. It's difficult to judge sometimes, isn't it? You're not always 100% sure. Oh, I know what I said, but I didn't think I said anything wrong. But it was my fault because there's not enough of us here to eat the bread. And there was like loads of bread in the thing, and I said to Mel, because Sainsbury's is coming today, so I took all the loaves of bread out of the basket and put them on the table and said, "Here, I put all this bread on the table. You might, if you go through it and decide what we want to keep and what you don't, because we got Sainsbury's coming today." So I'm just patting a bit of this beach area to give it a bit of texture. Yeah, you got Sainsbury's coming, so just get rid of it. You know, it's over a week. It came last Tuesday, didn't it? So it's a week old. It's all right. It's only a week old. Oh. I said, I don't want it. I'm not eating it. I had some yesterday, and it goes dry, doesn't it? It's all right. I haven't got no mold on it, but so I thought
Bread pudding.
I don't like it. I've gone right off of bread pudding. I'm just going to let this dry a bit before I decide on what blue. I've got a sort of an horizon at the back, which is kind of all right. You can make yours a bit longer if you like. And there's a line right across here, but it's all about decisions, deciding when to add. You know, how wet is your paper before you go in with a little wash? You don't need a lot. You just need a little bit of blue. Perhaps add a little tinge of not Indian yellow, but just an ordinary dab of yellow on it. Beauty of watercolour is if you don't like it, you can lift it off. Nearly. It's a bit darker than I want. I'm so used to Muddyford Quay with Avon Beach water. To paint water that is that blue is alien. It doesn't, you know. All right for you rich people that can go off to Barbados. I'll have a chat with. I'm going to leave it subtle anyway. I don't want it wild and horrible. What about these trees then? What are we going to do about them?
Palm trees.
Yeah. They're sort of palm trees, aren't they? I've got a rigger. So I've done the sky. I've faffed around with the water. I'm just going to let that dry off. This paper, I should have stretched it. I'm more comfortable with stretched paper. So these trees, we haven't used a fan brush for ages. Just thinking about it. They're not as high up as I put my pencil marks yet. But I've got a spare bit of paper here, so I've got yellow. This is golden. Oh, blimey, strong. Do you see that? That came out like a. That was a pleasant surprise, to say the least. Well, I thought if I used the fan and went on its, used it, what's that way? Vertical. It might come up trumps. Over this side, I wanted them. I think I might have gone too high, but well, I'm pretty sure I have really. Just dab them in. See what happens. Bit of fresh water and some of the local blue, which belongs in the palette there, and dab that over the top. I'm going to get the rigger out in a minute. Might need some of that turquoisey. The problem is the palette that I've got is the one that's deciding on the tonal values of the painting. So there's a bit of a lesson there, really, to watch out. You know, that's going to dry back quite nice. They look like trees to me. Once I get me rigger on them with a little bit of dark. Look at it, it's all dry in there now. Oh, it was damp just now. Must be something in the plastic that dries paint off. Weird, isn't it? This is burnt umber, bit of shadow, and a bit of blue. Anything really, other than black. It's the same colour down the bottom as well. And drop in where the white bits are. I'm just going to. I think I might need to add some blue to that just to make it a bit more interesting. That's a bit of ultramarine. You can do your trees and the shadow bits, which is. That's all right. I'm moving left here. Try not to stick my hand in the. I've never done palm trees. What's a palm tree look like? I should know. I've got one next door. I pick up it. They molt. Something. Oh, that's not too bad. I quite like that. I can use the well, I've got one of those brushes with the thing on. The sort of angle, isn't it? I think if you get the tops sort of flailing, for want of a better word, They sort of, they go off at funny angles, don't they? When it dries, you can quite easily just put in a few pseudo leaves in dark colour with the little rigger. But notice putting the yellow behind it first gives it a glow from behind, so it doesn't look so stark. Quite like that. Yeah, getting there. The detail comes in the once you put all the buildings. I've thought about putting a couple of figures on it as well. Don't know if anyone else spotted. It's only when you zoom in on the computer you suddenly notice that there's a beach full of people.
There's a man bringing his daughter across to do rock pooling, actually.
Yeah, that too. Too much yellow. Do you see that? Much too much yellow. Looks good on the screen, but it's, well, not so bad. I'm trying to get a compromise between blue and no. Probably come back to that. I'm going back doing flowers in future. I think I'm
Easier.
I really enjoyed that camellia.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah. I've put a little bit of this beach, just so if it helps you, this where it's going up the beach, I have put a really limp wash, which is sort of a just dirty water almost, grey. But as part of the fun, I've also put in some of the flesh tint across over the top of it, because you want the water, the sand, to be underneath. So it's quite a nice way of doing it. That just add some fleshy tones under it. It just blends in, doesn't it? In a minute we've got to mix up some grey. Just let that bit dry off. Trees are drying. Foliage over there. I think I could put a little bit more water up there later once that's dry. Okay, so we have some fun. Well, it's all been fun up to now, but I mean some even more fun. Get a bigger brush. Could use a square one, flat one, for just to show that I have no fear whatsoever. I'm going to mix up a load of, well, not a load, some, if I can get it to move. It's a bit of raw sienna. So I'm just looking, I spotted it. Some raw sienna. We've got some dark, we've got some green, we've got a bit of blue. So what I'm going to do is put some raw sienna. These are the sort of cliffy rock things, aren't they? Boulders. There's one right at the front, isn't there? So I'm just going to
They're covered in weed.
just whack a bit of.
Weed there. That's
I've got to watch it because there's a nice bit of paper underneath, and I'm just painting over it. Okay, more water. It's all right. The paint's bone dry in the palette. So anyway, we're gonna go for fun and randomosity. This is raw sienna.
Dave.
Pardon?
Randomosity, that's a new one, that is.
Yeah, I know. I thought you'd like.
That's the lesson for today.
Yeah. That's it. That's what. That's. You've earned me. I've earned me money. New words. Right, yeah, anyway, all I'm doing is
Like that.
giving me the rough shape.
Yeah.
On top of that, I think I'll put some cobalt blue. Don't want it too thick, but you don't want it too thin. And on top of that, whistle while you work. Put some shadowy darks or whatever. We don't want it to be too watery though. But there is some, the blue and the yellow is making it go sort of seaweedy green, isn't it? Let's put a bit more blue in, I think. And maybe a bit of that red. Just use up colours that are in the palette. And then just let it melt in. Na, 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 na. And there's the fun bit, isn't it? Do we start at the back or do we start at the front? Ugh, stuck my hand in it. So anyway. That's just a credit card, payment card, it says on it. And all I'm doing is just scratching out. Got to go quite deep. Just move the paint around. And away you go. Have some fun. Find some rocks. Can't do this in acrylic. Use the, if you've got, I can try it with the, don't know if don't know where it's gone. I've got my new system, but the, yeah, it does work. Hang on, I'll turn the, because I want it to go, I want them to go this way as well. Might need to tease that back a bit. Well, could do. Yeah, it's art. It's not precise rockology. But it's quite good fun, and you get to decide where the where it starts and where it stops. If anything, they're a bit, that one at the top, they could be a bit further out, I think. I'm just going to turn it around this way. See if I can pull them out a bit so they, only problem is the damn masking fluid is stopping me rocks from going where I want them to. That'll do. Well, it's art, isn't it? Sort of. It's sort of, it's not too well, it's not, it makes a change because it's my own card. Normally it's so, Mel, have you got the card? What? I'm already in doghouse with the stale bread, so I'm not going anymore. Dry this off in a minute. These are a bit too high up here, but I'll live with it. Yeah, gonna let that dry off. It's turning into quite a nice little picture now. When it dries, we can add some more darks and shadows and all the rest of it. It's going to take a while because these are pools of water that I've scraped in. You can always add extra bit of texture. But as I say, this paper is surprisingly soaky uppy. Yeah, right. So I'll just give that a quick zuzz with the hairdryer. It's not doing too bad, this paper, though, is it? Because it's I've not stretched it. And perhaps have a laugh and try and rub some of this masking fluid out.
He keeps using hair dryer.
The surprisingly wet, this.
Do not use your usual base coat that you've been using.
I've gone for reality, for subtlety today, haven't I? But it did cross my mind fleetingly earlier for the sky that maybe if you want to give that a go, you can try. So it's where you lose the tops of your flipping fingers. Oh, look at that. What's that remind you of? Don't go there. Oh dear, oh dear. Did you get your second jab, Anne?
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Yes, I'm fine. I've got my certificate. I've got my ticket.
Well, Anne's got her passport.
Yeah.
Right.
They're all whinging about that, but I think it's a necessary evil.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I can't see the hassle with it. And it's like on the paper today, they're sort of saying MPs of a growing band of MPs are very unhappy. And I'm thinking, yeah, probably because they got shares in bloody Ryanair and what have you. That's why.
Yeah.
But it's not down to us because other countries are going to impose it regardless. So,
yeah. They'll stop us going in.
Yeah, they won't let us in without proof. So the passport thing is nothing to do with individual countries. It's the holistic thing, isn't it? They're all protecting themselves.
It is the ones that actually got all these certificates and your double jabs are all old. My son came round on Sunday. I showed him my ticket, and he said, "Well, what's that for?" And I said, "That's my ticket to the cup final." And he didn't kind of like that very much. I could get to the cup final, but he couldn't. And there is an anomaly with the fact of age, isn't it? It's the old people that can actually go do things, and the youngsters are still tied down. But you can't odds it. It's got to, that's the way it is for a while.
Yeah.
But it is a bit awkward.
Well, what I can see of it on the news and that, they're all happy just romping around in parks in groups of.
Yeah, but they're going anyway, aren't they? They're
having a bit of a laugh in the park, really.
Yeah. They're ignoring the rules and they're still protesting and fighting and carrying on. So
the funny one is it's like Kill the Bill marches at the moment. And it's nothing to do with Kill the Bill. It's just to get out and have a laugh.
Yeah, exactly. The trouble is they're reading that as kill the police. That's the real problem with that. Because our daughter's in the middle of all that as a policewoman.
Oh no.
She said that these thugs are saying it's kill the police. It's nothing to do with the police, actually.
They don't create the laws. We create the laws. And the politicians create it.
Yeah. But to call the marches kill the bill was just, and whoever thought that, just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
All the kids just jumped on it and thought, yeah, well, let's go and beat up the police.
Well, James keeps a bit of that sort of attitude, and about, yeah, it's all about control and all the rest of it. And I'm saying, well, it's not really, is it? Because all they're doing is reacting to what happens in society as a whole anyway. They're not, nobody sets out to do these things. It's like they have a secret plan. That's not true.
Well, the police don't. No,
well, no, the government don't, do they? They people say the government do this, the government do that, and you think, well, they don't. I mean, Boris or the current government's only in power for 4 or 5 years. They didn't have it. They didn't think it up beforehand, did they? I mean, it just sort of, we're all under control by the government. The government are them, and you think, well, I don't see how that's possible because they've only been in power for a couple of weeks. Well, 5 years at the most.
Yeah.
So how do they it doesn't work like that. I just don't get.
Is you have to have somebody in charge.
The problem is it's the mandarins, isn't it? They're there all the time in their jobs, and governments come and go.
Well, but they don't have a say.
They don't with Boris, no, but with
others. They don't. I mean, they have a. I don't know. It's like there's some sort of hidden agenda to, but there isn't. Because as soon as the government say no, that's the end of it, isn't it? Or a minister says it ain't going to happen. Look at Priti Patel. She went in and sorted them out. You know, I think she was a bit over the top, but
yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got to. Yeah, but you can't have it both ways. You can't. 1 minute saying, yeah, you don't do anything, you let them do, and then when you go in and tell them they ain't gonna.
And they don't like it. Yeah.
Honest. I like corn on my sausages anyway. The hell with it. All I'm doing is pretending that there's some buildings in here, and I've added some sort of red root. I'm sticking with this palette, which is burnt sienna and a little bit of red. I think I put a bit of yellow in the burnt sienna to warm it up, and I've just sort of put that on the roofs, and the rest of it is just.
Those rocks look good now they've dried. Yeah,
they're sort of drying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to do 2 things at once by keeping my palette on the desk so that people can see it. There's a sort of rocky outcrop thing going across here, so we'll stick that in, accentuate it a bit. The bit I was gonna do was stick to my usual methodology of a little bit of yellow at the end of the wall of the building, a little bit of sort of yellow, and drop some blue into it. This works in acrylics because that gives you the sort of clump of foliage that's over there. Watch that. I'm going to let it dry. I noticed that you can do a better job with this blue building than I have. Just put some shadow on it. This building here, this is like a beach hut, isn't it? So I think the secret of that is going to be a blob of white over the top of the blue at the towards the end, or as it dries off. And always a good idea to have some grey in your palette, which is just blue and burnt sienna, because you can use it to put shadows on these walls and that. Just try and tease some out.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Chalk ice.
Yeah.
If you think like that. Yeah.
There's a lovely bandstand behind it as well.
Oh, you're zooming in. I'm just. I've got OAP eyesight. I can't do any of that. I do. Oh, yeah. Even when I zoomed in, I can't see these things. I need to go to the opticians at some point.
Yeah.
Just add a few more twigs over here. Bit of blue, yes, sir. Yellow and blue gives us
Back there, in the trees, yeah.
a few. Oh, I put too much blue on that one, so that could be a dab it out job at some point. Need a very fine brush, just to flick some twiggy bits at the top.
That's how I
You can always lift it off, and yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I think I'm going to add a bit more grey information, disinformation, really, isn't it? It's just a really loose wash of grey. Looks like a homestead, and I'm going to add some white onto it. Now, while I've got grey on the table, these little bits of, you've got to hunt them out, the little bits of froth, foam. I can't actually. You need to add a little bit of shadow onto the bottoms of them or within them and just dab them out, add some texture. So it's all part of, if you use a brush on its side, you should be able to do it. Equally, might want to turn the paper on its side. Do you see that? I just added a little bit of that red into the blue and it's made it go grey, a sort of a off shadowy grey. So we just need to find these horrible foamy bits and dab them in, and you can spend ages doing that. Even add a little bit of Alzerian crimson to the party, because that'll give us a different grey. Keep pushing them up. How I still think the best way, I'm going to do it in a minute, is make a decision and just use some white, a little bit of. It comes up. It just works better. What am I looking for? Something. Ah, yeah, just there. Sorry, I've gone a bit too. I need a bit more grey. Oh, I'm gonna do it regardless. And yeah. Problem I've gotten here is that I've lost not the plot. I've not lost the plot, but I've got to reinvent this wave that's going across here. So I've decided that this wave that's there is still part of this over here, which is the line that I put in right from the start. Let me move that across. I recognise that there was like a dark section there, so I'm going to turn that into a wave, because this is the bit that's creating all of this over here. So using colours that I've got in my palette, all I'm doing, so I put dark colour on the top. You can use ultramarine, cobalt blue, any of the little rascals, can blend them up if you like. I think variety is the spice of life. and just drop them in when it's damp. Leave that bit in the middle, I think, because that makes it look like the wave is sort of falling. And then clean water on the brush and just soften it down underneath and let the, don't want too much to go over there. If it feels too strong, put your brush on it and just lift it off. Piece of tissue, lift, dab, lift, and then clean water. As long as you've got clean water on your, well, I used to have clean water when I started, but it's sort of gone a bit. And I don't care. I think that the crest of the waves will have an element of green on them, just to make it look a bit more like water. Whoa, went a bit. Tell you, some of these yellows are strong. You think this is fun? Wait till you start doing portraits.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's coming up, but
Oh dear.
we're not going to rush into it. So anyway, I'm going to take the plunge and get a slightly bigger brush. Where's my C brush? Is there such a thing? That'd be great fun, wouldn't it? If you had a brush that could always paint C. You only go like that and it turns out into a nice crusty wave. Stab a bit off with some tissue. Now find some more flesh tone, and I'm going to add that in quickly and go towards me with the beach, and also going to mix up some, just let that play with itself for a minute, maybe dab a bit off, and I'm going to find some more grey. Seems to be a prevalent colour these days. I'm going to mix some grey, which is blue, add blue to burnt sienna ready colour, and dilute it down. Just keep adding water till you get a really nice thin colour. Beautiful watercolour. See, it's just gone grey now. It's gone. It's almost like dirty water, but it isn't. Because when you soon find out that it isn't when you put it on. See, that looks really faint in the palette, almost like it's dishwater, not even dishwater. But the reason I want it so fine is because I want to put a hint of the tide going out on the beach. So it's surprising. You'll have to experiment and get the colours that you feel comfortable with. But it's surprising how little colour you actually need to make it do it. So that's almost too dark there. Amazing. And I was adding this. You think it's all water, but as soon as you put it on the paper, it goes. You want it to be faint. It's okay. I can live with that. And is obviously where the rocks are. You're going to have to add darker shadows. It'll be. Ooh, shake my palette. Just build it up slowly. The rocks are good, if nothing else. The rest of the picture is rubbish, but no, it's not. I'm joking. Well, that's what we all say, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm like that. Oh, it didn't work. I'm just bad. But I don't give up, because I'll walk away and tomorrow or later on this evening look at it and think, yeah, all right, let's attack it with the, just lift it off, add some more, lift some more off, and gradually it will build up into the colour, into the painting that we know we wanted. Now, what I'm going to dry it off in a sec. Let's go to Barbados. And find some more. There's one of the things you have to bear in mind, that if you can get the right colour, which I'm not at the moment, it is easy to forget. If you make it dark at the darker it is at the front, it comes back towards you. So, but the rocks, I said earlier, once they dry off, just using my rigger, you can add some more, look for some shadow bits where my credit card sort of stopped. But I'll just, if you go like that with a brush up and down, or just lay it flat and draw it back, it'll create some interesting areas for you. Just pick them out. Look at like little rock crannies, aren't they? But you can spend quite a bit of time doing that. As I say, the easiest way to do it is to do a little bit and then walk away and come back, you know, with fresh eyes. I'm just looking for my flat brush. Funny how some days you have a theme. I'm looking for a bit more grey. It's not the best grey in the world, actually. I think it might need a bit more blue in it. That's what I was saying the other day, wasn't it? You can warm, you can warm grey by adding. Once you've got a grey, you can add a little bit of blue in it. That'll cool it down, lighten it up, and you can warm it up by putting, I don't know, any of the earth colours, raw sienna. That warms it up. Just dab it in. Just wanted to put a bit more over at the front of these rocks. Give it a little bit more interest. Lovely jubbly. Well, at least it's there. I've highlighted the fact that it is there. Okay. Now, thinking I'm going to do this because I think it's worth the effort to, I've got this spinning tower of paint here. I'm just going to, just to satisfy my own curiosity. So I'm going to just, rather than muck about with the masking fluid, I'm just going to drop in some white within my painting. I think personally I prefer doing it this way. I did gamble. I did say right at the start that I'm not too impressed with sticking masking fluid. To me, I see a lot of artists do it, and I think, do you know what? That looks like somebody's put masking fluid on the thing. I might as well stick some on the waves while I'm at it, just for a bit of fun. It's all about art. I think it's. No, I think I'll just let that dry off. Bum bum bum. I'm better off with the rigger.
Is that Chinese white you used?
Actually, that one was actually titanium white.
All right.
To be quite honest, but they're pretty much equally impressive. It was a bit watery at first, but it's thickening up now, and I prefer that. And when it dries, I'm pretty cool about. I mean, a lot of the thing you can add as much white as you like, really. Pretend you're an oil painter. Well, it adds. I don't care. It adds a bit of sparkle and freshness to it. And don't forget, we've got the fan brush, so when everything is bone dry later, and it will follow the shoreline as well. And I'm quite pleased about that, because we've still got our grey, or I've still got my grey in my palette. So if I turn my paper slightly at an angle, where I want the wrong colour, where I want the shore to meet, I can just put in some light grey bits on the front of the they're back. You can just add a few bits of grey on the front of the. This is really wet now, but if you at least if I show you what I think you should be thinking, then you see it will form that sort of tide line, which is what we're after. Well, it looks nice. I think the one in the distance should be slightly thinner, but you have to use your bit of imagination on that. Well, this is what makes us artists, because we're doing it our way. I like that. I'm quite content with that. I'm gonna while I remember, and I did say ages ago that I'm gonna put some, while I remember, I'm gonna just put a little bit of white on that building. So it has a slight, just to make it look like a bloody building. Yeah, that's okay. I'm quite pleased about that. And of course, let's just give it a quick dry on that area. Components are all there, so it's just a matter of deciding and tweaking it up now. Think about it. Get some little bit of fleshy tone. I've got a little bit of flesh. Now, what I did earlier, I put a little pencil mark. And the idea was to put some figures on there, but they're so far off in the distance. Oops, there goes that brush. They're so far in the distance, it's difficult to give them any sort of real credence, or they're going to be a dark or colourful coloured sort of marks in the distance. So what you can do, and it's always a good opportunity, and I've said it 1,000 million times, is because I'm lucky Gordon loves this brush because it goes in a sort of a chisel shape. If I do that with it, it goes like a flat chisel, which allows me just a little fine edge. The figures, I don't know. I can't see anything. I can't, all I can see is coloured shapes or dots that look like they might be people. So I'm not going to get hung up about it. I'm going to let them dry off big time. Yeah. Now it's all about rigor work. No, what I am going to do, if I find the right brush, come on, get a bit of tissue, because I reckon I'm painting it and I'm inspired. I want to do one of these. Here we go. I'm just going to damp water on this and knock it back a bit because I think they're too dark. So I'm just going to drop them, take them back, add a little bit of raw sienna. This is where you find that scratching the trees ain't such a good idea. See what it looks like, a bit better. I just wanted to lighten it up because it felt like it was too dark. I'm not looking at the picture now, so I haven't got a clue. I don't care anyway. I don't want it to look like that. I want it to be mine. Once that dries off, I can put some lighter foliage tones in it. It's the Forbidden Forest. Oh, I'm going to Jamaica. Yeah, okay. Good man, good man. And what we could do, just to show you what it's like, this is that Indian yellow. And it is serious colour. I'll put a bit on there. Can you see it's got a greeny tinge to it? Can you see that? And that's not off of any, there's no colour on it. This is Terry Harrison's golden yellow. Against that has definitely got a green slant to it.
It's cooler.
It's just got green in it. But I think what I might do, what I was going to, is perhaps dab a few bits on within the. Oh dear, I don't know what that is. That is funny.
I was finding that.
Oh dear. Is your dog hearing this? The dog must be thinking, what the? if Elvis was here, his ears would have gone like through the loony. Oh my gosh. That was funny, that. Doesn't take much to tickle my. Yeah. So this is just a bit of that Indian golden yellow colour that one can. I mean, how long have I had it on this piece of paper? I've got a whole tube of it. I don't know what the heck at some point, but I'm really just saying that when you think your picture's finished, you can add extra glow with, these extra colours, especially on these rocks, because there are no rules with rocks. Even the Martian ones are all different colours.
Yeah.
And what you can do with the foreground as well is just, if you're not happy about the background, make the foreground good, because it'll detract from it.
Mm.
Or if you know, not that I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm just saying it. There's gold in these rocks. Well, I'm just saying you can bring colour back where you might have lost it. Warmth. There's just a little bit left on the palette, on the brush rather. So I can just tease a few bits. What I really want is some more of that grey. Seem to be isn't it funny? You keep going through certain colours, and grey seems to be quite topical at the moment. It started off ages ago with that blooming cityscape. Remember, that was all lots of grey, wasn't it?
Mm.
The whole thing was about painting grey. Well, now it's a go away, sit down, look at it, come back, think, God, needs a bit, you know, bit of this,
Right.
bit of that.
Yeah, I've got to go now then. Okay, I'll see you next week, all of you.
I'll send you.
Okay.
Bye, Carol. Have a good
Bye.
one.
You'll get the
Bye.
video. You'll get the video.
Okay. All right, thank you. Bye.
Do you know what?
Bye.
Bye.
Do you know what, Dave? I reckon that's looking all right, mate.
Very good. It's very nice. I like the rocks.
Amazing what you can do with an old credit card.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of my the reason I keep saying, oh, I'll have a look at later on when I look at it. The reason I say that is because I keep my printer. The image that I'm using as a sort of guide is so faint.
Mm.
It's just not printing out very well. So just add a little bit of white on there, I think. And I've got that isn't a seagull. No such thing as a seagull. They're herring gulls. I don't know what they are, but they're not in my bloody painting. Get out. Oh, wish I hadn't done that. Oh, yeah, it's coming. That's not, this is not finished paper, so it's got the wobbly bits in. I think, what should I think? I think I'm just going to make this area damp here and add some more shadow. Just to make it look like there's a double tide.
Mm.
I'm warming it up a bit as well because it's looking. Oh, there's that seagull again. Parrot. Pretty boy. Yeah, there you go. I think I'm done. Quite frank with you, I'm diddling. I'm not finished because I know that I'll look at it later and think, and little things like this tree line where I've put those lines where I scratched it and then decided to. So there's a heads up in there. If you scratch it out, be careful if you try and lift it out because it'll come back and bite you. I can always add some more greens on my rocks. That rock there is irritating. I think we could add a little bit of darkness on here just to make it look like it's part of the picture. Da, da, da. And why not add a few higgly, piggly, diggity, stony, rocky, crabby things, and that bit there. Look at that, it's got a little groin thing. And the figures, I wanted to probably need to add a little bit of water on the brush, get that sort of chiseled edge, and I could be able to just darken them up a bit. Perhaps later on fit some heads in or make them a bit darker. Bright, don't know why, a bit of yellow probably work. And don't forget to put a little bit of shadow on them. Somewhere they got to be walking. Ta-da! I'm quite pleased with that.
It's very nice.
Good.
Very nice.
Out of nothing, from
Yeah.
nothing. Well, you can't tell. Oh, hang on. See how long cable I've got. I've got my my little bits of mount around, showing off my. Oh, look at that!
Amazing.
That's lovely.
Oh,
Very nice.
I think my looking back on it, my thoughts are: watch this area, decide where's it gone there. You can probably get a better colour than I. Well, maybe if you can find a better colour, but watch this area. I've decided that that's all one wave, which it probably is. And the horizon, I'll probably bring a bit more of that out later, but I don't want to. Yeah, I might change a few colours, but other than that, wow's about that. I'm quite pleased with that.
that's really good.
I think the rocks, you can have, as I say, you can have some great fun with those. Let me just go over it again briefly. Where's that bit of paper? There it is.
On that rock paper gives you a lot of texture.
The way to do it, we'll do this because Carol's gone and she wants to, got your palette with different colours in. Let's find a brush, but put the lighter colour on first. So I'm just saying, Joyce is laughing, she's seen all this before. I'm just saying raw sienna. You don't want it soaking wet, watery, but just any old. I'm talking to myself now. How does that work? Put some blue over the top. Or a dark, just gradually get it darker. I'll just do it. You can do walls with this as well. Then you could use red, put a nice red color. So I'm gradually getting dark colors on the top. And then the last one is obviously a nice dark color. And then just, you can either use, I can't find the, where is it? No. Yes. Yeah. So if you've got a credit card, you can use that, or a bit of card. Some people cut them up and make them different shapes, but a knife would do the same thing. It's just a matter of moving the paint around. I think the card seems to do a better job than this particular knife. I think it's got an edge on it. And then it's just a matter of scraping it off. And
Does look like stone, doesn't it?
it does look, but it's worth practicing and playing with, because you can get some really lovely effects.
That's very good.
You can use the edge of the card. It varies as well on the sort of shape of the card. That was for Carol. She's gone. And wow. Yeah, I quite like that.
Mm.
Very good.
Considering as I've never been to Barbados. Looking a bit
I
like
think
a.
I think in acrylic my sea is going to be a lot more vivid.
Mm.
Mm.
It will.
Do you think so? Unless you blend into white,
Mm.
paint it white and then blend colour into it. Might be a good plan. Something I was gonna.
Yeah. In Barbados is very hot and vibrant. That's what I'm sort of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's lovely.
As you could put a.
Classic watercolour.
I suppose it is in a way.
Hmm.
I'll take that. I'll go with that.
Hmm.
I'll show you an example of what I was on about with that Indian yellow. Ooh, this is heavy. Weighs a ton. Hang on, I'll zoom out.
Oh yeah.
See what?
Oh.
It's really. It's got like a glow on it. So I'll gradually keep painting white over the background, and I don't mind it because it's not the final element anyway. But I thought I was being clever and think, I put a golden glow in the background. Little did I know I was getting a bit like what do you call it? Sahara sand squishing along. Picture though, I'm sure I'll sell that. Oh, I'm convinced I will.
Oh, sure you will.
Oh, thanks, Anne.
One merchant out.
I like that. I just need to change. There's a few. I'm just going to change a few bits on it, but I'm not going to go.
Mm.
It's one of those pictures that you can't. I don't. If you put too much in, and it'll just go the opposite way to what you're trying to achieve. Well,
Very nice.
so everyone's inspired now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Looking forward to this one.
Well, I think if you doing your sort of your methodology, but you could do a lot of things to it. Don't hold back, Joyce. Just go for it. I'm too cautious, I think. Too stuck in my ways. It's got to be. It's dirty, isn't it? Whereas Chrissy can just put 3 inches of acrylic paint on the board and then just squish it around and come up with something really interesting.
I'm glad you think so.
Well,
is everybody's in the gallery now? They're camellias.
most,
Done it.
yeah, no. There's a couple coming in. There's I put the ones that have come in yesterday and the canal one. I can always tell I can gauge the success rate of the pictures by Mel, because if I just sort of, she actually nowadays she's just started, she'll come in and say, has everybody given in this week's picture then? And I said, well, yeah, and then I'll just sort of open up the folder and flick through them and she's always like, wow, that's blimmin' that's, you can always say it'll be like, yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh, that's yeah. I reckon it's great because Mel's a proper artist. You know, she'll go, oh yeah, that's good. But when I frame them up like that, it changes them completely anyway.
There's
Is that your one?
That's Anne's.
That's me.
Mm.
Very nice.
That's
I
great.
wish I could paint like that.
The camellia went wrong though. I lost the camellia.
Yeah.
I lost the leaves in the background.
Yeah.
They just didn't work.
And the camellia one, Carol's was nice. Let's share that with you. Well, I thought Carol's was quite soft, quite go on, quite I quite like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
But all of them, as they sort of as they come in, like on a message or an email, I sort of look at it and think, bloody, is that a real flower? That looks like a photo. Because they don't come in as big pictures, do they? They come in like on a message. And
Yeah,
think, yeah, it's sort of a double take. Because I haven't looked at the picture for quite some time anyway. So, so I always think, well, that's a good. It must be good if it does that to you, but don't particularly want that. You know, Chrissy was on about it yesterday, and I said, we got the photo. We know what the photo is, but we got to make it into something a bit. The thing about the photos, they're always, and what we've got to try and get and keep remembering is that they're two-dimensional. They're flat. And that's what makes us better. And what our job is, our task, is to give that depth to sort of move, like bring the foreground forward, make the rocks come to the front and lead the eye in a bit. You can't do that in a photo. They try all these weird, wonderful HDR techniques and that, but it ain't gonna work. You've got a long way to go because you can't put a quarter of an inch of paint on a photo, can you? And get the shadow from the paint to work on your behalf. So we're beating them.
Yeah, it's going good. Mainly as we enjoy it.
right.
That's the best bit of it.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, the amount of work we're doing is, when you think about it, if we did 52 one a week, it's 52 paintings a year. That's pretty good going in any case. Good or bad, and most of them. The only criticism that I got looking, just flicking across is Pauline's. Why? Not her painting's fine, but she don't stretch the paper, so it's wobbly.
I was just going to say, how do you know I don't? But
well, when
I have done a couple of times, but
when you photograph it,
yeah, you can see.
But it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't mean throw the picture away. What it means is,
It's a different.
But you can, yeah. If somebody said, "Yeah, I want to buy that," or I want to frame it and what have you, you can re-stretch it.
All right.
What you do is instead of doing it like I normally do with a sponge both sides, just do it on the back.
All right.
Then put it in the towel, and then tape it around,
right.
quarter of an inch, and let it dry. Then you can cut it off, and it's re-stretched it.
Right.
I've had to do it a few times. You can tell I know too much.
I'm going to have to do my bit this week. I'm going to have to stretch it this week.
Well, if you're using even that thick paper I've used there today, I wish I'd stretched it. It does help. It's a bit, I mean,
Right. Noted.
Chrissy doesn't paint on floppy canvas, does she? It's usually stretched
Yeah.
or glued to a board. There's a reason
Yeah.
it works better that way.
Mm.
And like I
Yeah.
said before, I find it quite, I don't know, it's part of the process of creating the picture, you know. You think, right, I've done a good job stretching. I don't know, it looks nice. Can't muck it up now.
The one time that I did try to stretch it when I did a watercolour.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, and it went awful. I was really rubbish at it.
We did it the other day. Yeah, we used parcel tape instead of gum strip, didn't you?
Oh, that's right. I didn't have any gum strip.
That's the reason. Parcel tape don't glue with water.
No.
That was a funny, yeah.
Yeah. No, I must get some gum strip.
It does make a big difference.
Yeah. Yes, it wasn't holding it flat enough.
Well, I'm going off now to stretch my paper.
Well, I'm going off now because my bladder tells me it's.
Yeah, and me as well.
I'm parched. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down and see how the land lies. I definitely ain't going to ask for bread.
No, your order comes.
No, I've got some oat cakes. I'm safe.
All right, that's right.
They just take.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
I'll see everybody next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Thank you very much, Dave.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'll see you tomorrow, Anne and Gordon.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Look forward.
I'll phone you up later on.
Yeah. Okay then. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Must apologise before I go, Dave. I haven't. We painted the front garden fence. That's as far as I got. Andy did a bit of it, but she's managed to do her paintings.
I haven't done that.
Have you put a camellia on it?
Well, she got halfway on the camellia.
The camellia went wrong.
Oh.
I tried doing it wet and it just all bled in together. So I got like a background of green.
You could paint it. I thought you were going to paint a camellia on the fence. Big one.
No.
Yeah, so I haven't managed to get back to it. It was Easter and we had the kids around, so we're running late.
No rush.
We'll get there eventually. But that was very good, Dave. Thank you very much. I'm going. See you Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
When's the portraits coming up?
A few weeks away. Yeah.
Oh, that's a few weeks away, are they? Okay.
Yeah. I've scheduled April, so yeah. But I think it'll come soon enough. But then it'll be one every other week, won't it?
Yeah. I've been trying to start drawing instead of tracing. I got. Oh. In there. But that's only pencil, but
You're almost there anyway.
I wanted to go for some trees as well, get the tree shapes right as opposed to throwing stuff on the way I went. But sort of
It's bloody awesome. Looks good, that.
last night that was just playing. I thought you was going on to portraits, so I thought I'd get a bit of practice in.
Well, it's not a waste of time anyway.
No. But driving round here, looking at all the different shapes of trees and that, I was going to look into trees a little bit for later on and start doing a few landscapes with real trees, as opposed to ones that I think I need to draw with wires, Anyway, I'll leave you to it, Dave.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to go and get the kettle on and...
Yeah, go and make a sandwich.
I am bloody starving. Put it bluntly.
Well, it's halfway to toast already, so you'll be all right.
Okay. Right, I'm off.
See you then, Dave. Bye.
Cheers, darling.